Hi, good morning. Welcome to Creative Companions. It's 11 o'clock on the dot. Here I am. Let me know you're here. I am showing up today as Misguided Painting, and we are going to do a painting together. You're going to need... How do I do that? There we go. Okay. All right. So for today's creative project, you're going to need a blank cardboard. We use cardboard because, well, there's way too much cardboard in the world, and you can always grab a piece of cardboard. I'm sure you have one around the house. Break it down to the size you want. Also, we want to take away the censor who wants to attempt to make a masterpiece, and we're not attempting to make masterpieces. We don't want to trip ourselves up that much. We're just here to have fun and play. So we're going to play with acrylic paint today. Definitely we're going to want red, black, white. I don't know what other colors. Whatever you got. Whatever size cardboard you got is fine. A white cardboard, whatever. Let's see. If you haven't read Chapter 1 of The Artist's Way, that's okay. We're going to be talking about recovering a sense of safety. Beginning where we always begin, we're going to take some deep breaths together. Breathing in through our nose. Holding that, breathing out through our mouth. While you gather the things that you'll need and get comfortable in your space. If you have a blankie or a shawl, we're going to do a comfy warm meditation here in a minute, where I'm just going to encourage you to feel comfortable and warm wherever you are. You can sit in the sun. I have a little friend here with me. She's 7, right? Yeah. And yeah, you don't have a blankie or a shawl, but you can be warm and comfortable in the sun and hug yourself. We're going to hug ourselves in our blankies in a minute. So take some deep breaths, everybody. Get comfortable in your seat. Have all the things that you'll need next to you. Maybe some water to drink, your coffee, tea, whatever. Just breathing in and out. I'm picking the paint off my palette as I do. It's like a meditation for me. This is yesterday's paint palette with dried paint on it, and I'm picking it off and making my paintballs in preparation to paint with y'all today, and giving you time to get your things together. You got your things together there. So I'm wondering how everybody did with The Artist's Way this week. Did you write morning pages? The goal is to write morning pages every day, but if you did them one day, bravo. If you did them 3 days, kudos. If you did them 6 days, wow. If you did them 7, wow. Even, yeah, so whatever you did is good. We're just works in progress getting started, wherever we are on the path. Oh, the artist date. Rainbow, I'd love to hear about your artist date. I did not manage to take one myself. Completely forgot, as I often do. But I do spend a lot of time with my artist self. I've been painting all weekend. So I'd love to hear in the comments your experiences with those morning pages and artist date this week. And then we're on Chapter 1 now, and we're going to talk about that and recovering a sense of safety. So last week we talked and made art related to treating myself as a precious object makes it so. And that's as far as I got with that art last week, because I was just talking a lot. But treating myself as a precious object makes it so. And this might be something you could write in your journals or on your art as you go. So today we're going to be talking about recovering a sense of safety. So in that note, let's stop our hands and bodies from moving now. Just a second, I say. Just a second, I'm still playing with my paintball. Okay. Let's take some deep breaths. Relax into our seat. We're here now. I'm grateful to be here. Let's check in with yourself. Be warm and comfortable wherever you are. Warm and comfortable. If you got a blankie and it's cold where you are, wrap up in that blankie. If you Don't have a blankie. Wrap yourself up in a hug. You can even rock yourself. We're just going to take some deep breaths and just follow that thought. Warm and comfortable. I'm warm and comfortable. I'm warm and comfortable. Yeah. And there's a kid here, your child self, who maybe never grew up. Look at me. And we want them to be warm and comfortable too. So we're going to talk about that. That's where our feeling of safety comes from. As we go today, we're just going to keep taking deep breaths in through our nose and out through our mouth. And if our sensor starts talking up as we're painting, we can silence it by simply taking a deep breath. So we're going to start with black paint. I'm trying to see the comment. Somebody made a comment and I can't see it. I'm sorry. I'm glad you're here, whoever you are. Try again maybe with the comment. So we're going to start with black paint. You know, not very much. It doesn't take much paint, especially on cardboard. The paint moves quickly. I had a big brush somewhere. There it is. So I'm going to start with the biggest brush I have. You can use the biggest marker you have. And where's my water? I'm going to dip in the water first and get my brush a little wet. If you don't have a really big brush, if you don't have any brushes, you could use cardboard, or not cardboard, a paper towel for this. Wad it up and just dip it in the water, then dip it in the paint. I'm going to use the dark side of my cardboard. And I'm just going to get paint all over that brush. And with a quickness, just cover the whole cardboard. Maybe continue taking those deep breaths while you do. In through your nose, out through your mouth. I have the water sitting on the wrong side. Let's move it over here. You know. All right. And just with the quickness, cover your cardboard. Turn it black. Turn it all black. You don't want it too wet because we want it to dry fast. I got mine pretty wet here. It does make it move quicker though. I'll try to remember to hold it up so y'all can see what I do. So recovering a sense of safety. Maybe we felt like we spent a lot of time in the dark. So let's just go ahead and go into that dark and make it dark right now. And you think, well, how are you going to make the canvas dark first? How are you going to... Well, often it gets dark for a while and we got to come out of the darkness and learn that we can do over, we can say over, we can paint over. We just got to keep ourselves, which the Artist Way is teaching us. A little disorganized. I'm going to give you a minute to turn that black. So our chief, I'm reading from the Artist Way, Chapter 1 now. One of our chief needs as creative beings is support. Ideally, we get that from family, friends, teachers, well, everybody around us. But what we often receive is criticism instead of early encouragement. And then we tend to speak in that same voice to ourselves our whole lives. So we're learning to counter that. So artists love other artists, and that's why one of the reasons we gather together to create. Ben Sean, and we're also practicing the art of breathing and listening while you're painting and listening to the sounds around you. I hear a lot of generators this morning. I hear her marker go and go and go, and it's going to take a long time to turn that whole thing black, isn't it? You're welcome to use the paint if you want to. You want to? Yeah? Okay, you guys, I'm going to get her set up with some paint. Give me just a second. I was going to read you this quote, though. To live a creative life, we must lose the fear of being wrong. And in this moment, your artist child is at play. Creativity is at play. Learning to allow ourselves to play can be a stimulating challenge. Hey, can you grab another one of those pallets? Either that one or that one. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And I'll give you some black paint. And you can use that big brush right there that I used. I would say, like, you know, wipe a lot of the water off of it first, because it's going to be really wet. And it doesn't matter that it's right there. Okay, so use that paint, use that big brush, get a lot of water off of it first, because it's going to be really, really wet. You do that by doing this on the sides of the can, and then I like to do this. like, I like to flick the water off the brush. Okay, now put it in the black paint and go for it. And just paint that whole thing black. If she gets paint on her clothes, it's going to stain. Okay, and Grandma and Grandpa are sitting over there. So, all right, so let me get to the sentence in the book that made me decide that this would be our thing. So putting yourself center stage, your child self, is what we're trying to do in the artist way. Oh, where is the sentence? It's okay. Take some deep breaths. It's impossible to get better and look good at the same time. Remember that in order to recover as an artist or as a human, you must be willing to be a bad one first. Give yourself permission to be a beginner. By being willing to be a bad artist, you have a chance to be an artist, and perhaps over time a good one. So, let's start honoring our artist and putting our artist center stage by creating the scene, you know, dress for it. I put my artist clothes on. We're going to get a glob of red paint now. And you can use that same big brush, or I'm going to get one a little bit smaller. I'm going to go with this size brush now. Where'd my cardboard go? There it is. Yeah, I am very distracted. I've been at festival painting like a marathon. So here now, we are going to set the stage for our artist child self to emerge. We're going to do that by making some nice red curtains on here. So just like, and I'm going to show you one that I have. You're looking to do this kind of shape. The curtains are opening. That kind of shape. I can lay that where you can see it. Ooh, Mackenzie, don't get paint on it. So we're just going to take that red, you can add some water to it to make it flow a little better, and make that shape. It looks like a K on this side. Letter K. Just fill it in. And you know, you can let some of that black show through. It gives it texture. And you might want to use paint for this too. I don't know if your red marker is going to show over. You might have to use paint the whole time. So I'll do this real fast and then I'll hand you mine, Mackenzie. Okay? So can you see there? Just have those curtains flowing open. Getting ready for your debut. Your little you coming out to play. Here, use this one. I'm going to just pass you this. Use that red. And give me this one. Now we're going to want some white paint, ladies and gentlemen. Your little artist self might be hiding. Take a deep breath. We're going to put just a little white paint on your palette. If you can get that to come out. So we do these practices in the artist way as ways to get in contact with our higher self, our creative self, our child self, the one who has something to say, our heart song, whatever you want to call it. Where to hold that? Okay, I'm going to grab a smaller brush, whichever one you grab. And also part of the point is that we make ourselves wait. We often make ourselves wait to do the thing because we think we need all the perfect things to do the thing. Well, I say start where you are and start now in small steps and use what you have. So I just grabbed this little crappy brush and I'm going to put it in the water a little first in white. And I'm going to make a stick figure little kid me, like she's like really little back here. So let's hold that up where y'all can see it right there. Okay, so I'm gonna make a little oval for my head. Mackenzie, look, you want to do this part with me? You need some more red. Where did I put the red now? Do you see the red anywhere? You're gonna have to find it for me because I don't. No, not that one. It's one of this size. I'm sorry, I don't know what I did with it. All right, while she's trying to find the red, take some deep breaths again. We're gonna make, maybe you all need me to pause too. So I'll just hold that there and get you to this point. I just had it. You don't see it anywhere, huh? It's not in my chair. Can you put some more water on that? And then, not too much. and then go like this. That'll give you more red. And do the other side. There you go. See? Okay. So we're making an indication of our little child self. We're just going to make like a little stick figure there. So there's our little head. And then we're going to go a little body with legs. And why don't we put our hands in the air? Arms up over our heads. We are here to have fun. Now, my brush is not holding the paint real good and made that kind of fuzzy, which is kind of cool to me because it kind of looks like wings. And, you know, my kid self believes she could fly. I believed I could fly this morning. It was windy when I was walking. And that's part of what we're trying to do here, too, is believe in ourselves and our creative process. You need some white there. There you go. And if you go like this with the brush and spin it like this, it'll bring it to a point, and then just use the tip of it to paint with, and it'll make a smaller shape because you have a pretty big brush there. So your child self is there all tiny, maybe in all this darkness, not feeling so safe, and we're recovering a sense of safety here. So we take some deep breaths to return to ourselves. Know that, hey, we've made it to this point. We're safe in this now. If we're here now breathing, we're safe in this now. You know, and maybe you've been talking to your child self in not a nice way, and we're learning to use affirmations like prescriptions for certain aspects of yourself that maybe you want to change. You could do better. You could try. You could do whatever. You'll notice enormous change when you change the way you speak to yourself. One thing they said in the Artist's Way this week is that our censor often says, "Who do you think you are? Who the hell do you think you are?" Yeah, I say that to myself sometimes. You know, that was something said to me by people above me, you know. So you might notice this week some of the things that you've been saying to yourself that aren't helping you so much. And you can counter those with positives. And you can write those affirmations in your morning pages. And you can think of your child self as, and your artist self, as a work in progress that's just growing. And so now we're going to just like grow that self. And imagine that you're a bigger self around this little self, like those dolls, you know, that come in those stacking dolls. I never know what anything's called in the moment. Anyway, I don't know the name for it, but we'll just make a bigger, let's make a bigger head over top of that little head. And then, well, I'm not holding it up high enough. So there's what we got so far, little child self. I wanted to grab a different brush. And as we're working our creative process, we've got to remember to be patient with ourselves. No hurry, no worry. You know, we don't need to rush the process. Yeah, maybe you don't have all day, but you could do a little bit now and then set it down and come back later. Like this video will be available later. If you can't watch it all right now, you could come back later. And after it's a live feed on Facebook, it'll be available on my YouTube channel at Art by Kim Keffer. We just want you to enjoy the process of gathering and creating with your creative friends and leveling up together. That's what we're doing here, leveling up together. Level up. Okay, so here's this. I made that bigger head. We're going to put her arms in the air too. Boop. And she got longer arms because, well, she's older. And then we could imagine her shape, and let's like imagine that her legs are out, like in star pose. Look at that. That puts the child self right in her heart center. Look how that worked. You see, you might want a smaller brush, dear. Find you a little one. Try something like this. So that's the other thing. You know, maybe you never acrylic painted before. Try different brushes. It matters the way you put the paint on the brush. So look at this brush is all fuzzy. So I put a little paint on the end, and then I'll hold it up so you can see. I put it on my messy palette in a dry spot and twirl it so it brings all the paint together on the bristles as much as possible. Now this brush is not working very good either. I'm going to get a different one. You know, so if you need to change positions, if you need to change brushes, be patient with your artist self. They're just learning. So I'm going to try this new brush. It's kind of pointy. I think that'll work better. It's flat and pointy. So now I can define those lines a little bit with this brush, especially on this, let's call this the higher self one out here with her arms up, like a goddess and goddess pose. Let's give her even a little foot up, a little foot up. So I'm just tracing this outside one now, just tracing the outside one. And let's imagine that she has a skirt on. So we'll give her a bottom edge here and this. There we go. So there, she has a skirt on. She has this little child fuzzy thing in her heart space. What color does your child self want to be? Green? Purple? You can make it whatever color you want it to be. So we're going to get a smaller brush still. Here's some good small brushes. You want blue? This one's so complicated. Let me see your palette there. I have a hard time squirting this one. See how I do, because we just need a little dot. Whoops, see, I squirt too much out of that blue one. That's okay though. And purple. Look at these little tiny brushes, Mackenzie. So I'll take this one. Pick yourself one of those. So look at this. I got a really small one now. And I'm going to go with purple. Oh, you got a really little one. Good. Oh, I grabbed blue. Okay. So synchronicities and following your muse. For some reason, I'm supposed to use blue too. So let's just use some of your blue. I'm going to take a scoop. And I'm going to add a little white to mine to lighten it up a bit. And just make, oops, I put it in black by accident. I'm having accidents. You can always paint over, you can always do over, you can always have that conversation over. You're safe now where you are with yourself, and your child self is surrounded by your goddess self, see, or your God self. So I'm going to define that little child self with the blue a little bit here. What was that? Is everybody okay? Should somebody check? Okay, we got it. Oh, she's saying call 911. Who has a phone? She's saying 911. I got you. Alright, we're going to end the live feed now, I think. Somebody got it. Okay, we have a nurse coming to help. Someone is hurt here where I am. Take a deep breath wherever you are. We can remain calm. It's okay, Mackenzie. Stay here. We can remain calm among all these high emotions and whatever happens in our day. You never know where the day goes. So everything's all right. Okay, someone fell. Be careful, everybody. Take good care of yourself. I didn't feel a need to run to that because there were other people more capable right there for her. I don't know. It just looked like a lot of blood first. Oh, okay. Everything's going to be all right now. That was good. Community comes together to take care of one another, and so that we all feel safe. She has a lot of people helping her feel safe there. Take some deep breaths. She's okay. If your grandma's okay, it wasn't her. And the other lady's okay. She has somebody over there helping her. So always you can go back to your heart, take some deep breaths, tell your child self you're safe, look around you, you know, alive, alert, and aware. We're here now in the present moment. So let's see what the next chapter of the Artist Way is going to bring us. So there we have our little child self emerging. There were some tasks at the end of week 1, and I did do a few of those tasks myself, and not the ones I had done before. The first ones that were offered in week 1, which they offer like up to 10 different tasks that you can choose from in the Artist Way at the end of the chapter. I say pick one. Pick the one that's hard, pick the one that's easy, however you want to do it. The first one seemed a little negative to me. They were asking you to bring up the sad memories, the negative memories, the ones that hurt your child self. And I've been there, done that so many times, and I didn't want to revisit that. So I went to the one that said create the Hall of Fame, and that was really fun. People who have encouraged you in your life, remembering that this recovery is yours, and how you use it is up to you, and how you use the practice of the morning pages and the artist dates. So there you go. This week we're recovering a sense of safety and knowing that our artist self who just wants to use their voice and create is safe with us now. And we're going to each week come together and give them opportunity to express in some way. So next week, what is chapter 2? I still didn't look. Okay, just a second. What is chapter 2? Chapter 2, recovering a sense of identity, is what we're going to read about. So enjoy your week. When you finish this painting today, however you want to finish it off, I'm going to get some more red here. Sign it, date it, and keep it, and put it where you can see it and see your progress. I just added some blue to the edges of my red curtain there to just make it shine a little. And I'll post it. Oh, I just got some red paint on my face. I love you. Thank you for being here in the chaos with me. We can remain calm even amidst the chaos. Follow your breath. Treating myself as a precious object makes it so. I love you for being here. Thank you, and I'll see you next week.